Hello and welcome to our place in Sicily, and today we're bringing in the big guns. We're in the garden. Let's have some fun. So as I said in the opener, we're going to be talking about bringing in the big guns to the garden. You may have seen our last episode where I was the little guns and was working to move things around that I wanted to save. But what else has been going on is everything at the house. So we're going to try this a little differently this week, this video. Things are going fast and furious at the house. So today we're going to talk about everything that has transpired in the garden. And if this works, we're going to do this for what's going on in the house. And you may hear some clunking and some banging, and that's work going on. And so I'm just going to tell you what it's like when you bring an excavator into your backyard and take down some trees and get ready for the next steps. So it really all started out as a surprise. I came here on site and the team had started removing a big pile of garbage that had been here. Actually, I shouldn't say they started. The pile was missing. And while we knew that the pile was there until the guys needed to work on something else, and then they could work on that, like if there was nothing to work on in the house, it also was sort of the bane of our existence. It was blocking some stuff, and so we were just really not loving that pile. And so I came out middle of the day, and it was gone. And Leonardo was just sweeping up, and they had taken down some stuff, but it was clean. I was totally surprised, and you can sort of hear that in my voice. She's so clean now. We could have a dance. And basically they had to clean up because the idea was to bring in a small excavator that could fit through our tiny garage doors. They're like maybe 4 feet wide, so it had to be small. But they needed that to sort of move stuff around and be able to get that in. In the meantime, they also needed to get out a bunch of the tiles, and you can sort of see in the corner here, but also most of them over here, all the tiles that we're saving from the house, but were on floors that needed to be replaced. They needed to move some of those tiles that were already being stored in one of the depositos, essentially Matt's office, and they needed to move them out. So Andrea was working on that in the process, this sort of the next day. And so we had lots of stuff going on. But first, the great momentous moment when the excavator came in. I was working on stuff in the backyard, and I was actually still working on odds and ends, things I thought of after I did my cleanup. And then I could hear Stefano and Leonardo working to get it through the door. And that's how we captured the crazy moment of driving an excavator into the backyard. I sent videos of myself with the excavator to my good friend, who is 5, the big 5, not 5'0", 5, back in the United States. And he still didn't understand that there was an excavator in my house, but I digress. So we brought the excavator in, and the first thing that Stefano needed to do was to move some of the garden around. By move the garden around, I don't mean like, I don't know what I mean by that. But he had to make way for the excavator to make it all the way through. So he had to move some of the debris that was still in our backyard out of the way. And then he pretty much went to town on removing the palm trees. These were mostly dead, fully dead, and on their way to being dead. Well, all stages. Plus they were in the wrong spot. and we didn't think healthy enough to just translocate to another area. It was funny to see this duel of Stefano and the excavator versus the palm tree that wanted to die in its own home. So we did a lot of pushing around and moving stuff, and then I think it was the next day. Andrea had been moving some of the tiles out here, down a little ramp where I'm sitting. He put up, and like wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow, he moved them out, and now Leonardo was in charge of the excavator, and Andrea had most of that tile moved. Now, keep in mind, if you can remember our bathroom video we did recently, there was a little bathroom on the back side of this deposito. There was a dividing wall, and this little toilet that I showed you was our last remaining bathroom we hadn't shown you. And so already while they were cleaning up, they had gone in and knocked some of the tile off and removed the toilet, and it already was a demolition site. But with Leonardo on the demo team now, and with the keys to the excavator, he moved around the last pile of tiles that Andrea still needed to move, and went in and basically just knocked down the dividing wall, down to about 3 rows of cinder blocks. And the sound stopped Andrea and I in our tracks, and we went over to see what it was. We weren't worried, but we were like, what is that sound? It's funny, like, because there had been tiles and stuff that were still in there, like the debris from cleaning it out was still on the ground. You could hear, like, if it sounded like glass breaking, and I was like, where is their glass to be broken? Anyways, we watched just in time to see Leonardo enjoying the fact that he was going to knock down a wall with it. I think it was fun, considering all the work they had done by hand with jackhammers, and now he got to see the whole wall go like over in less than a minute. He stopped the excavator and got off it, but he was giggling like my friend, my little 5-year-old friend, I think would have, like I would have. It was fun to see sort of the joy in his face, like, look what I did. So anyways, over that day and into the next day, they finished moving the tiles and also used the excavator to knock down a very thin, about 8-inch wall. I'm sorry, 8-centimeter wall. That's a big difference. An 8-centimeter wall. They use these like 7.5 centimeter bricks that had been built between that wall. So now there's no divider between Matt's office and what will be my ceramic studio. Something new will come back up there for sure, because Matt wouldn't be able to basically take a work call if I was working in my studio. But it's better to put in a full wall, and there had been the doorway in it, but the bathroom is really no more, and we can get into that room and we can see it all from front to back, which is great for us and for our planning. And, you know, it reveals you can stand in the full middle of the star vaults. So that's what happens when you bring in the big guns. You remove palm trees, you knock down walls, you make things happen, and older men giggle like 5-year-olds, which is the best part of it all. Believe it or not, there's stairs here, and I think I should cut back some of this jasmine in the most delightful task, because it smells delicious. So here's your before. All right, we can get up the stairs now. I still need to sweep, but we're losing light. This is just part of the haircut I gave it. Maybe in another video I'll talk to you a little bit more about pruning this monster, and also about the cuttings. I trimmed up our grapevines, some of them, and took cuttings. I have some cuttings of the jasmine we're going to try to propagate while we're waiting. I cleaned up this little garden so you could see and trimmed the jasmine here so you could see this beautiful, it's like a sculpture. So gorgeous. Whew. Time to go start thinking about dinner. That's it for today's video. If you like this, please subscribe, share it with a friend, tell people about the crazy things we're doing here, or just come back next time. Until then, ciao, ciao.